Nintelvisi kolmi maas, leevi amiga magi. Karwigi udan telvisi eski ogonawagi. Leevi Nova Scotia de. Most of you have heard about this concept who I seen. And I really hope that from here on in, you really look at everything from your Aboriginal lens. Because the rights that we have, I believe it's beyond questionable in any court of law. Because what makes it difficult for us is that most of these charges have been fabricated. I don't think they would have, I don't think they know, and we know they will never stand up in a court of law. But they're using that technique to exhaust our resources, because normally it's going to cost X number of dollars to process a claim. But then again, we understand those agreements. They call them treaties, we call them Amkugamkewil. And if you were to break that word down, you cannot help but understand. Those treaties were only meant to set a pattern how we should get along with each other, including the newcomers. It did not say anything about how or where should we be able to sustain ourselves. So, in my humble opinion, anything and everything, if it's not illegal, and if it doesn't violate conservation, I believe we have a right to pursue anything and everything to create some economic benefit for us. Because we understand, not from the English perspective, we understand those documents, the spirit in which they were given. But the problem began when they were translated into English, because those translators of today, they were working for the British Crown. So they made sure the translation will benefit the oppressor. And we never had a chance to present our cases from our own perspective. Now, I have been trying for some time to get a few of our native lawyers, see if we can begin the process of redefining those treaties in Mi'kmaq. Because Amkugamkewil, which means this is how we should take care of ourselves first, so we could adequately take care of the source of life in which we all depend on. The law, Devludan, it means if there's any disagreement, here is a document that says we should resolve that dispute or difference of an opinion for the benefit of all. So each and every one of us have that right to speak up and to take action, because when we're stuck in these small parcels of land, like we say postage stamp reserves, as I call them, there's not very many economic opportunities. When we were depending on welfare, they called us welfare bums. And each and every time when one of our members wants to be determined to be able to sustain themselves, here comes the FO and the goons, the RCMP, and they will actually fabricate charges in which they know they're not going to win. So they're using this idea that we have a limited fiscal resources, and I understand that of my previous experiences. To get the case up to the provincial Supreme Court level, it'll cost approximately $250,000, and you know you're going to lose. But you have to go through that process before you can go to the Supreme Court of Canada. And once you get there, you're talking millions now. Now, how many people in the reserve have those kind of monies? So I would like to suggest, besides dealing with the issues on hand, the other thing I think somehow, how I don't know, we have to use this word, mawuway. Together we're going to be strong. That's something I think that we should be working, we people are, as all senior people are, that this is what we're working on. We want to get people to really listen and to really watch what's happening to us. We have no rights whatsoever. Every right that we had has been taken away. So in order to help these people that are in the front line, we on a community level have to find some ways how to educate ourselves on these issues that are confronting us today. And those issues, try to understand what the treaty said. And those treaties did not say that you cannot sustain yourself. As a matter of fact, they said you will not be molested or denied as to how you go about sustaining yourself. And when we do sustain ourselves, they fabricate these charges. And those charges, they know they're not going to win. But to drain our financial resources, that's the only thing. So let's really look at our Aboriginal land and see and find a way, how can we together fight? Some people we have to be on the front line. And these people that are on the front, this is the reason why I'm here. Because Cody is not Cody that's on the trial here. It's us. Every one of us that considers ourselves as Native. And I agree with my friend there. I do not categorize people like on reserve, off reserve, Métis, or If we feel you are one, we should all come under one title. And ignore those definitions that the government has put in place. And the reason why they put those in place was to divide and conquer us. Mm-hmm. Let's acknowledge those divisions that are distracting us, and speak with one voice. And with that, I don't think they will have to, at least not the judges, but at least the politicians will damn well listen, because all they're concerned with is the excess. If they know they're going to lose X number of excess in this community, they're going to speak up. So let's be real. Let's be determined. We have rights, and we're going to pursue those rights, and we're going to exercise those rights, no matter how many times we're going to be dragged into court. Thank you.